It's good to be back with you again this week. I want to just share a reminder of the story in the Bible of the Old Testament man Job and his situation and his surroundings and the people around him. As you may know, God took everything away from Job. He allowed Satan to touch Job in every way except to not kill him at the end of the day. Job lost his kids, he lost his property, he was afflicted with just terrible illness and body sores, etc. And so the story picks up in Job chapter 2, verse 7. It says, Satan went out from the presence of the Lord and struck Job with loathsome sores from the sole of his foot to the crown of his head. And he took a piece of broken pottery with which to scrape himself while he sat in the ashes. But the point I want to make comes up in the next verses. Then his wife said to him, "Do you still hold fast your integrity? Curse God and die." But he said to her, "You speak as one of the foolish women would speak. Shall we receive good from God, and shall we not receive evil?" In all this, Job did not sin with his lips. So sort of bookending around Job's wife's comment and then his comment. She starts with, "You still hold fast your integrity." And she challenges him to do something with his lips, and that is to speak a curse against God. Curse God and die. He must have been close to death or able in a situation that he could have died because of how afflicted he was in his health. And she's just saying, get it over with, be done, and curse God because look at all that you've lost, what he's brought upon you. He, of course, rebukes her in that, says, don't be foolish, don't speak like a fool. And then he says, shall we not just receive good from God and not also receive evil? So I've said this from the pulpit before. It's a little bit of a pet peeve of mine when things turn out well, when we get healed from our disease, when the financial calamity gets resolved and we're restored financially, when the relationship repairs and reconciles. But what do we do when the going gets tough and stays tough and doesn't resolve in this lifetime? Should we expect only the good and therefore in some way tie God's goodness to that and say he's good when or if, fill in the blank, for our satisfaction and our good outcome? But sometimes that's just not the case. And God is sovereign. Job at the end of the book says, I spoke of things I didn't know. After God had said, I'm in charge and you're not. And so Job's a heavy book, and it's a glorious book when it resolves and culminates and climaxes in the glory of God and his sovereignty. And so I want to challenge myself today for sure, and you as well. Hold fast your integrity. Be true to what God has called you to, which is to walk in his path and to trust in him come what may. And boy, it's one thing to say it out loud and not curse God with our lips. It's another thing, even more, to have integrity internally, to have a consistency of your heart and an undivided heart that says, even in my heart, which no one else hears, no one else sees but God, he will see that I don't curse him. I accept from his hand all that he brings, and I know he's good. And in the end, as the Bible so often does, it drives us to the hope we have for eternity. That for a little while we may be afflicted, like Peter writes in the New Testament. It tests our faith, it proves the genuineness of our faith, so that when Jesus returns in the end, it will be found to the praise of his glory. So hold fast to the Lord in this hour. of testing, and maintain your integrity. Don't curse God in your heart or with your lips. I just want to encourage you in that. And that's what the body of Christ is for, is to hold fast together the confession of our faith in hope. So I love you guys, and Lord willing, will see you soon. God bless you. Take care.